Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you with my latest share for Cut to You, and I am using the Cut of the Month cut file, which is this evergreen leaf wreath, um, and it is the August cut of the month. So here I have it. I have used my Cameo with a pen holder in cartridge 1 to pencil my design in. The line is pretty dark, so I'm just using my eraser to erase most of this. I can still see it on my paper, on my work surface. It is pretty hard to see on the video once I get it all gone, but you can see I'm just rubbing it off. And you can see up the top left there, I've got a little yellow pad of post-it paper, and I'm just cleaning my eraser off as I go so I don't get black smudges. So you can see it's a faint line there now. And you can see I've already got a bit of a start here. I am using my Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors, and I'm mixing my own color. You can see that my son is wearing like a sage-ish colored green pajama top there. And you can see I've tried two different colors on my paper here. By the way, I'm using watercolor paper, and I've got 2 jars of water up off screen that you can't see. One is clear water and one is water for cleaning my paintbrush. So you can see I'm just mixing colours here, trying to get a fairly something that's going to work with the with his clothes. Both of my kids are wearing the same pajamas actually, because that's the pajamas at the elf bought. I think this was 2021. I'm not sure. But you can see here I've done lots of samples of colours here. I've found the one that is closest, and I'm just using a pencil here to write the colours so that should I need to mix more, I can. My head gets in the way of this, and this is a long video, so I hope you hang around. I did keep in, I chopped out as much as I could without losing too much of the content so that you guys could see what I was doing. Now, I started this probably about a month or so ago, not really sure where I was going with it. I did the painting and then I came back to it later. So I did watercolor this whole wreath, and what I'm doing is painting in clear water onto like a leaf, like about one leaf, and then I'm coming in with my other paintbrush and dropping color in. The longer I played with it, the better I got at recognizing how much water I needed to add and how much paint I needed to add. So I've left some of that process in for you guys to watch. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I am no expert watercolorer, but I also know that with watercolor you don't have to be perfect. It's not like I'm trying to become a world famous watercolor artist that, you know, creates landscapes and stuff. So I was just having fun with the process. Like I said, just dropping water in and then adding colour on top of that, knowing that the colour's only going to go where the water is. In some areas I go back in and blend the colour out a bit more or add a bit more colour. But you can see here, I love watching this when you just put water down and then add a little bit of the colour and it just moves. I love it. It's like magic. So this did take me quite a while to do, I think about an hour or so, but it was well worth it in the end. I love how this page comes together. Now, if you've seen the title, I finished this page off, like I said, about a month after I started it. I'd actually been to a art journaling class with the lovely Tracey Scott at my local scrapbooking store. She was over here in Perth. Did some classes and I joined in on mine and had so much fun getting messy and inky and stamping and painting and just having fun. And so a lot of the things that I picked up in that class, I was really inspired to bring across to this page, knowing that I had watercolored this wreath. I thought it would be a fun way to use a cut file in a different way and make it more artsy. Not that the cut files aren't artsy, but yeah, I hope you know what I mean. I'm not trying to diss the cut files or anything because I love them. Like I said, I was working on, I think that's cotton watercolor paper from Uniquely Creative. It's beautiful to work on. it does have the water sit on top of the page rather than sink straight in, which gives you a little bit of time to move colours around and let them blend and do their thing. I did show you that wreath completely painted. I love the way it turned out. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. I'm playing with a Cocoa Vanilla Studio collection. I cannot remember the name of this one, my apologies, but it is, I think it's the newest one. Not the newest one that just dropped. The one from two or 3 years ago, whenever it was. I love the pop of red in it, so I wanted to include that. I did start sketching this on the back of this, and I can't really remember why I stopped it. I think that I didn't sketch it properly. I think that I'd just done the outline or something. So that's what that's about. But the wonderful thing about paper, it's got 2 sides. So like I said, I had been inspired by an art journal class that I attended earlier this month. I thought I would add some doodling to this wreath, and you can see I've got black Sharpie, it's not a Sharpie, a black paint pen and a gold, and I knew that I was going to cover up the end of that wreath, so I was quite happy to test it there to see which look I preferred, and I went with the black. And you can see I am literally just tracing around the edges of all of these leaves. I am taking care, but I'm not being precise. Like I said before, I'm not aiming for perfection in my watercolouring. This is a scrapbook page that I have put together after inspiration from an art journal page. And yeah, so that was the first thing that I brought across, was the black doodling around all those leaves. I'm going to use one of these A5 papers to lay behind my photo, and then I'm going to use this same beautiful poinsettia print and do a second layer on that. You can see I'm moving the placement here, and I'm like, oh, I think I need to add a bit more to my wreath here. So I'm just going to quickly do that. I actually picked up these paint pens from Officeworks. They were really reasonably priced, and I have an Officeworks like right behind my work, so very convenient. Just adding these layers behind my photos. So these are photos of my boys with our elf Pixie. Like I said, this was in 2021. On Christmas Eve, Pixie always turns up with a letter from Santa and permission from Santa for the boys to hug her and have her with them throughout the day, and they can touch her and move around. They love it. It's always bittersweet for them. They love that they get to cuddle her on Christmas Eve. They love that Santa always says make sure you put her in her favourite spot so that she can find her way back to the North Pole. So yeah, they're always both happy and sad about this because they know that she's going to be going home, but that's okay. So I've got these cute photos on Christmas Eve in 2021, and she also brings with that letter matching Christmas pajamas, sometimes for the whole family, sometimes just for the 2 boys. I love, even now, it's so funny, they get matching pajamas also for Easter, and I'm a bit silly. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are in your matching pajamas, it's so cute. One's 14 and a half, the other's about to turn 12, and I'm like, you guys are so cute. They're like, oh mum, you're hopeless. That's okay. So you can see that I'm just working on my page here. I've got my 2 photos that I have mounted onto 2 different pattern papers, and I'm going to build 2 clusters on here. You can see I've got one to the right hand side of my photos. I started with 2 Christmas trees. I was like, right, I can only use 1 Christmas tree on this page, and then as I started putting things on the page, I was like, I can actually, these 2 greens are going to work fine together. So that's how I ended up with those 2 trees there. And then I'm just building some florals out on either side. I do have 2 little tickets. This one says Christmas Countdown, and the other is something about December. I can't read it from here, tiny little screen. So I'm pretty happy with all that placement. I'm going to add some more mixed media. I'm going to start with some splatters. I'm going to start with some black ones. Again, I'm using my India ink for that. I love how well this splatters both in the black and the white. It doesn't smudge. The only problem with it is if you don't clean it up from your palette, it dries and you cannot reactivate it. So take it from me, I may have learnt that the hard way. But yes, I really do like the black and the white splatters that I get using the India ink. If you can find some and you've been looking for good something good to splatter with, these are my go-to. I love them. I've also got some gold Heidi Swap Colour Shine that I have poured into my little palette, and I'm sprinkling around with my paintbrush as well. Just topping that up a little bit. And then I'm going to pop my background aside to dry. Did take a photo of how I had all of my ephemera set up around my photos so that I could stick all those pieces together and move them as one piece. You can see here. That's exactly what I've done. I'm going to move my background off to the side, I think. Oh no. Okay, so I've got my photo cluster ready to rock and roll. I've got my title in there. Well, I've cut that off from the backing sheet. It just says Believe. I think I have about 4,000 layouts with the title Believe, but that's okay. It's not, I don't think that they're one after the other, hopefully. But even if they are, it doesn't matter. Now, I had this on my desk. This was originally how I'd cut this cut file, thinking I would use it like this. It was much smaller. And then I thought, you know what, maybe I could use this and cut it apart and use it as pieces to kind of build out my wreath a bit more. So you can see I'm just cutting bits and pieces off here. I'm going to end up adding, I think, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 bits, but I do muck around with it for a bit just to get it just right. But I really love how it just adds an extra bit of something. I love it. So see, I'm just playing here with the bits that I want to use. I'm going to muck around with it for a bit longer, I think. No, not so. I've got double-sided foam tape on the back. I'm going to peel back some of the backing where each of those pieces are going, and then just stick that leaf to the back of that, and then cover it back over with the release paper. So I've got those all in the right place now. I'm going to add my title in. I do go back in and add the dot in at some point. I can't remember exactly when. And it's time to stick down my main focus here, which is obviously my photos. It's also got my title and those extra cut file pieces. I really like just the extra bit of softness and flow and texture that it adds to the page. Because they're not completely stuck down, they are kind of floating. I am adding liquid glue as well. I don't think I'm going to have any trouble with it sticking because it is the watercolour and the watercolour paper, but just in case, I'm using the liquid glue with my foam tape. Make sure that is nice and straight and stick that down. I'm going to fluff up all the bits and pieces here. This layout, like I said earlier, this video is fairly long, so A, thank you very much if you're still here. B, it was a super fun layout to create, especially like getting more artsy and playing with ink and paint and stuff made me realize how much I enjoy it. So hopefully I'm going to add back in some more mixed media because yeah, I have missed it. And I've realized recently that some of my product is drying up. Guys, don't do me. Don't be like me. Use your product. Use it. Get it on a page. Don't let it dry up and have to chuck it out.